co dělá léto létem. Své brány fanouškům znovu otevře sluncem zalitá pražská Štvanice. Ikonický chrám s elektrizující atmosférou pod otevřeným nebem bude opět tím místem, kde se na přelomu léta střetnou ti nejlepší a nejatraktivnější zápasníci domácí scény. Ledové drinky, místa doslova na dosah dění v kleci a další pokračování příběhů vašich oblíbených bojovníků slibují jediné. Zážitek, na který budete opět vzpomínat celý rok. Akce, kterou si nechcete nechat ujít. Lístky v prodeji právě teď v síti Ticketportál.
Těžká váha nabídne i jednu z velkých německých hvězd, kterou je boss Hatef Moeil. Ten má ve svých 35 letech jakožto člen jednoho z největších německých gymů UFC na svém kontě 11 vítězství a pouze 4 porážky. Prohrál naposledy v KSV v roce 2018. Od té doby sbírá 1 KO za druhým. Německý boss se tentokrát potká s brazilským Baby a nám dobře známým Kerissonem Lealem. Ten předvedl jeden z nejpamátnějších zápasů těžké váhy na české půdě v rámci turnaje OKTAGON 23. Kerisson by měl být pro Hatefa Moeila tím pravým soupeřem. Dokáže vydržet neuvěřitelné bomby v úvodních kolech a prezentovat se stále se zlepšujícím výkonem s tím, jak ubíhá čas. Zápas, od kterého čekáme fantastickou podívanou, může začít.
So once again, we welcome the heavyweights towards the octagon cage, and my goodness, two monsters of men will slug it out right here in front of us in Frankfurt. The Fetal first making his way to the cage for the second time under the octagon banner is this man, Kerisson, baby's Rezende. Now, there's a very big baby, Frank, but he gets the nickname, a little joke with his teammates, where he came from a different camp and the coach there looked after him so much that they basically gave him that nickname as soon as he came in because the coach did everything for him, like a baby. But when you see this guy fight, my goodness, he is exciting for a number of reasons. One of them being just his durability. He fought Camille Minder in his first fight in Octagon, Octagon 23. That was a title eliminator. And Minder, every bit of 120 kilograms. Caught him with big shots early. Ground on him against the cage, took him down, beat him with hammer fist, but every time this guy got back up. This guy came forward to the point where in the third round, he almost turned it around to take the victory. Lost that by decision, but within that fight earned a lot of credit for his performance and his chin, which when you look at the record of Hatef Boss Moeil, he may need to lean on tonight.
Definitely a well-rounded fighter, man. A great striker, started Muay Thai at a very young age, and just really developed just some great striking skills. But also on top of that, then realized, hey, I'm going to compete in the sport of MMA. He's a multiple-time regional champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So understood that I understand that he has to get the grappling aspect of the game also. If he gets taken down, what he can do from there, and dangerous there. Obviously, he likes to keep it on his feet, but if it goes to the ground, the guy's not out of water by any means.
Yeah, and certainly just one of those fighters that it's hard to train for you until you're in front of them and you see what style they bring. It's kind of one of those where you look at his record, and in particular, look at his last fight, because he had a fight after he fought in Octagon. He went back to Brazil. He had a contest over there, and the guy refused to come off his stool in round 2 because he'd thrown everything at him.
Yes.
He had absolutely laid it all out there. Every weapon, everything that stopped people in the gym, stopped people in previous fights, was not working on this man, to the point where the guy said, well, I can't do it. No, master, I'm done. You've already talked about it.
When you fight a guy like that, you got to either switch a gear to where you go, okay, I'm going to end up winning the decision, so I'm going to just keep hitting this guy and not extend myself and get hurt, and realize that he's not going to go away. And then, or, hey, this is MMA, and beautifully, there's chokes. and no one has a strong neck, you know, comparatively. You can have a chin, but the whole adage is you can't be choked out. That guy hasn't been born yet, or woman, and so you got to switch up and try to put them out that way. But after watching the abuse that he took in that fight, knocking out Kerisson is definitely going to be a stretch. Not that it's impossible, anybody can go down, but that being said, if your game plan is to get him out of here early, you might setting yourself up for disappointment, and it can cause a lot of guys to freak out. You sit there and you catch somebody with your Sunday best, and all of a sudden the smoke clears and they're still standing there. That can be very psychologically destructive to a lot of fighters, especially heavyweights.
Now we get set to welcome this man. We have the baby in the cage. Now let's welcome the boss, Hatef Boss Moeil. Really is a fighter that has caught the eyes, the hearts, the imagination of the fans here in Germany. Also from Iranian descent, a huge following from that region as well. And when you look at the style of his fights and the finishes that he's able to get in the cage, it really is no surprise that he is a fan favorite. 11 wins, 9 finishes, all knockouts. If you look on Tapology, there's the one that's a submission to a verbal tap, but that's to strikes as well, Frank. He's beaten some good competition, absolutely tore through James McSweeney. He has a win over Rico Rodriguez. And the side of his fighting that I want to really get your mind on, really, Frank, is when you look at the start of his career, he was 4-4. 4-4 with...
That's a discouraging record.
Exactly, but also some of the losses, they were doctor stoppages, they were corner stoppage, there was an illegal kick. Since 2018, though, things have come together. The way he fights, who he is in the cage seems to have morphed and, you know, emerged into the beast that he is now, the boss. And he has been unbeaten, a 7-fight win streak since 2018. When people hit that green patch, it really is amazing to see, right? Because that 4-4 record is behind him now. He is undefeated since 2018, and somebody who is a knockout artist on top of that.
Yeah, that shows great resiliency mentally, because you're right, that's very discouraging. You're 4-4, you start questioning that all the time spent in the gym and the hours missed with family and friends and vacations and holidays and working, maybe following another stream of revenue. We're like, well, maybe I need to go get that job over here where I can have a future and own a home or do something with my life. Here I'm sleeping on a mattress at a gym and I'm sacrificing and I'm 4-4. So all of a sudden the work goes in and the results don't come back out immediately. It can discourage even the strongest of people. And then Moeil has shown that he has that mental resiliency, that he can sit there and stare down a very uncomfortable record and look himself in the eyes and go, no, this is what I want. I'm going to keep pushing forward. And he was able to fight himself out of that hole to be where he is right now.
Yeah, and you look at where he is right now, age 35, taking on the 26-year-old Kerisson Rezende. Both weighing in 118 kilograms. Huge men here. Moeil, the favorite in the eyes of the Tip Sport odds.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is a heavyweight bout that is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Your referee inside the cage is Pablo Picante Tosh. Let's introduce our fighters. Start with the blue corner. He is 26-year-old. He stands 193 centimeters tall. He weighed in at 118.6 kilograms. He represents ABMT and Checkmate BGG Gym. And his coaches in his corner are Jean Felipe Prestes and Castaño Jr. He has a professional record of 10 fights, 6 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. Representing Brazil, Kerisson, baby, Rezende. Red corner, he is 36-year-old. He stands 193 centimeters tall, and he weighed in at 118.3 kilograms. He represents UFD Gym. And the coaches in his corner are Babak Nejat, Ivan Diakovic, and Tommy Diakovic. He has a professional record of 15 fights, 11 wins, 9 KOs, and only 4 losses. Representing Neruda Cup team, DeepCBD.cz, and fighting out of Germany, the boss, Hatef Moeil.
Fighters, 3 rounds, 5 minutes, only fight rules. Fight active, fight fair. Touch gloves, or go back, please.
Pavel Tosh will take charge of this heavyweight contest. Moeil, the favorite. He is in the black shorts, red corner, taking on this guy, Kerisson, baby, Rezende. White shorts, blue corner, Mir Bryan Lacey alongside the heavyweight legend himself, Frank Mir, and straight away,
Nice
Hatef's
jab.
coming out. Oh, big right hand early, Frank.
Yeah, that was a beautiful jab, right hand, right to the double leg and take down, though. I'm impressed with that. Instead of sitting there trying to beat it, oh, Kimura, he's hit it, too. Oh, he was able to rotate out. Nice.
What a start to this, 20 seconds in, and
He's
so
hunting for the
much
Kimura on the other
action.
side again, too.
Talked about it on the walkout. Regional champion of BJJ 6 times. His region back in Brazil. You know that he's been grappling with some absolute monsters over there. Hatef, though, really good. He has
That's
that
taking
wrestling
a lot of
credit.
energy right now. He needs the Kimura is dead as far as his ankle on it right now for Kerisson. And now he just, sometimes when you fish down a submission, you lock onto it and it's gone. It's not there, but you just want it. You burn a lot of energy, and that's one thing you have to know when to let go. Hey, man, that's not there, transition. Move on to the next maneuver. Don't burn energy holding on to that, and that's what he's doing here with the Kimuras. The first one was nice and close. It caused a reaction. You saw it of Moeil where he had to rotate over, but now, I mean, he just keeps hunting for it. He's not in a good position. Yeah, again, he's just, I mean, he has a lot of confidence in it, but I mean, Moeil's on top. He can connect his hands. He's got the hand inside the thigh. And really, like, it would be shocking if he was able to pull that hand out right now on a guy. I mean, there's not that much of a size difference, strength difference on Moeil. This might be the result of a heavyweight who rolls with a lot of middleweights. He might be successful at doing this on guys that he outweighs by 50, 60 pounds. You're not doing this to a guy who you weigh the same as.
And the other flip side of that coin, Frank, just being devil's advocate, if you're holding onto that arm, at least he can't hit you with it. That's the
I
other
like
side.
the double grip on that. It's a great move.
Oh, a nice single leg.
Yep. Beautiful dump. Knees forward, his head is up. Now he's in a perfect place against the cage where he can really inflict a lot of damage and nullify Rezende's guard. Because here, this is, see how he's closing his guard? This is, Kerisson doesn't train in a gym that really focuses on that, because that's why, hey, at Syndicate, we got the walls all matted everywhere, because everywhere is we don't just fight this way in the cage, but against the walls on the mat, because if you push someone against it, you have to know how to fight with that obstacle there. Even for street self-defense, you should know how to fight with a wall there, because guess what? There's walls in real life.
This is life, right? Yeah.
This is life. And so closing the guard there, I tell people, this is where the guard is dead. I like guard. I think it's still a useful tool. I think there's ways to utilize it. I like half guard. I mean, I'm still a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I like that aspect. But I'm an MMA fighter first and foremost, and I'll tell people, if you hold guard when the person's this close to the cage and your head can touch, basically within about a foot away from the cage, the guard dies. You turn into a wrestler now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what your background is. You are now a wrestler. You need to get to your feet, work up to the cage. There's no fighting from the bottom against the cage.
And it's so funny how that's changed over the years, right? The cage used to be your friend, didn't it, when you were on top especially?
Right.
But now, if you use it, like he's wall walking here now, if you crush your opponent against the cage, they can use it for the get-up, which is another evolution. But look at this, the crucifix position here, Frank. Oh, my goodness, this is a horrible spot. Moeil with 1 minute 30 seconds still left.
Yeah, and right now, Moeil's head's high. If he wanted to trap that arm, he could have dropped his head to the mat, circled it, and really, probably, you know, the good thing about that crucifix position, we call it the beatdown, right? You know, Matt Hughes made it very famous against BJ Penn. The great thing about it is, even if you get out of it, you know, and it doesn't finish you, it utilizes a lot of energy from the bottom guy, and it taxes you, and you could get a stoppage out of it, you know, especially if you use elbows like John Jones type, you know, on the janitor. You know, I remember watching that. I was like, oh my God.
So
like,
horrible, right?
That's the way to do that position, you know. You know, the whole Peter Patter with hammer fists and punches, like, look, ref, I'm touching the guy, come stop the fight. I hate that. I don't think that's effective martial arts, and I don't like that mindset. I think that I tell our students at Syndicate, you know, and my daughter and my son, like, hey, when you get into the beatdown position, you don't want it to be that the referee goes, hey, I've landed enough shots, did you stop the fight? You're like, no, I need to, oh my God, save that guy's life from the bottom, because this person is drilling elbows through their skull.
Heavy, heavy shots
Yeah, it's not like, oh, should I stop it? Oh my God, I better stop
Yeah,
it.
I need to
That's the
step in.
mentality
Yeah.
you need to have when you're hitting somebody. You want the referee to think that, not should I stop it? Oh my God, I need to stop it.
Well, 15 seconds left in this round, and right from the start, Moeil set his stall out, overhand right Frank, then got the takedown. Now he's been working to try and cause damage from the top position from the guard. But baby, Rezende, we'll see round number 2. What are you saying on his side? You're going to be in the corner of Kerisson. What's the game plan coming into round 2?
Well, I think Kerisson needs to be just more alert with his strike, establish distance on his feet, because, you know, Moeil's strategy was to come behind that jab. Classic, man. It was classic, beautiful MMA, especially heavyweight style MMA. Double jab, right hand, whether it connects or not, drop down to that double body lock that he can't do and secure the takedown, right? So knowing that, all right, we got to keep distance. So when you come out there, take the center of the cage, right there, but instead of throwing kicks, let's throw our jab. Let's go ahead and establish, keep both feet on the ground, and let's hit this guy so he doesn't just run at us. And then once you have him hesitating to come in close, we can throw kicks. You can't really throw kicks. I don't teach people to throw kicks when I have a guy who's charging forward too much, because the math is wrong. Like, that's a used expression I always say, right? The math is wrong. You're on 1 foot, kicking a guy in the leg, he's on 2 feet running at you. More often than not, if you fall over, you're falling on your butt and they're falling on top of you. So it's an ugly takedown, especially if they throw a punch. I mean, Chuck Liddell made that famous. You know, back, I remember in the turn of 2000, you know, I'll take you around house, kick me in the leg, I'm gonna sit on it, and I'm gonna throw a cross right into your chest and knock you down. And then that's my takedown. And so you can't take someone, like that inside kick is beautiful because he wasn't moving forward.
Oh, but look at this straight away, Moeil with that body lock. And Moeil comes from that Iranian background. And
Greco, right?
Yeah, Greco, and he's got an elite coach. The name of the coach slips my mind right now, but somebody that everybody knows for his power shots, his striking, but he is a high-level technical wrestler on top of that.
Elbows right now.
Oh, nasty, right behind the ear.
Good shoulder dexterity to do that elbow.
Still in on this single, Moeil.
Kerisson, he's just, I would think that was a little heavier to get my hips down. So right now, those are beautiful elbows though. But see,
oh, nice.
Good head inside single, you know, for Moeil, you know.
Nice explosion though on it, right? He timed it perfectly.
Yeah, and that's heavyweight strategy. I tell people, hey, relax, 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 explode.
Yeah.
You know, relax, 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 explode. Too many heavyweights in between, they're tense, they're tight, they're burning energy. I'm like, hey, unless I'm doing something, don't burn energy. Stay mobile, move, flow, you know, but don't just, you know, if you're standing there, don't tighten your fist just to tighten your fist. Don't squeeze on someone just to squeeze on them, you know. Connect your hands, be smooth, be relaxed, and then explode when the time is ready.
Well, that beatdown position, you can see the reversal attempt there from Kerisson.
Well, and he got out, but he used a lot of energy.
He's managed to get half guard back against Moeil. Moeil now trapping that arm again.
And it's hard to do the beatdown if you can keep a guy in half guard, because now you can use your legs wrapped around his leg to pull his hips off of you and to pull that shin off of your leg. Whereas if you pass fully to cross side control, it's much more difficult than, you know, to do that. You don't have the leg to pull on. Then you have to hook their ankles, you have to hip bump, you have to create different leverage points to create the frame. But if you can wrap the half guard, you can kind of nullify the beatdown position. And not that he can't for a second. He's doing a good job, Moeil is, of keeping his knee right there under the shoulder. He's going to try to peg that arm down, and he's going to get his knee over the top of the elbow and then secure it. And it's not impossible for Kerisson to get his arm out, but he's going to have to use energy to explode.
And explodes out the back. He might get a little takedown of his own here. Hanging onto the cage there, Pavel Tush. Firm warning there, but a big hammer fist from Moeil.
Yeah. Kerisson he's on his knees right now, just driving forward. It's not a good takedown. He could have got 1 foot up to be able to have more forward pressure, or just honestly, if I was in his corner, I'd be screaming, bail. Like, you got the reversal, you came out the back door. Now you're getting greedy. You're trying to get a takedown too. Like, that'd have been nice, but his wrestling's not on that level against Moeil to be able to have done that. So knowing that, be like, hey, you got out, he should have just backed away. He could have cut free got an escape, you know, and then been off his back, and then go back to striking, where he probably has a much more higher head and arm range of success.
And when you're in there, Frank, I mean, you learn every single second you're in there as far as momentum, skills, how they match up, strategies, whether they're working or not. How much of it, part of the game, is having a plan B, plan C, and even plan D? You've got to evolve with the fight, right? And what you saw there with Kerisson is, like you said, he got greedy in a spot where he's not had success against, and he must have felt the rest. He must have felt the quality of the grappling of Moeil.
You have to make those adjustments and fight. And you know, you have a plan A and a plan B that we can strategize and work for in a camp, but that's where sparring and endless amount of rounds come into, is that during the fight, during the round, like, you know, like when I'm coaching Bella, you know, not every day is the same day. There's days that she's feeling good, she's jumping around. There's days where we're fried, she's not firing all cylinders, and we have different opponents. So I'll change how our attacks are mid-strategy, you know, and then as the fighter, you have to be familiar and comfortable that you've been in those situations enough hours, you've clocked, that I can sit there, hey, I need this now. And you go, okay, that's where we're going, I can do that. And that's what really Kerisson should have done in this situation, be like, hey, I don't need you to go for the takedown there, you got the escape, I need you to back off now and come here, like that, you know. And right now his plan A is throwing those kicks, we need to abandon them now, like, hey.
Oh, these are big hammer fists. Wow, Moeil upping the power and the pressure in this position. Looked like he was almost happy to maintain just the position, but now finding a gap for these right hands to come down.
That left elbow dug to the mat hard, which is controlling the hips of Rezende.
Oh, the referee warning about shots to the back of the head there.
Oh, I thought he was stopping it for a second. That was a weird stop.
I think it was actually, he was warning Moeil about targeting those shots more accurately, not. And he may have a word with him here about the grabbing the cage. Oh. We don't need that. A little bit of afters there from Moeil.
Did he spit on him?
Well, Pavel Tosh was right there. We don't need that. We do not need that. It's not been that type of fight, though, Frank, isn't it? And to say that Moeil's
kind of anger, right?
But Moeil's been the one that. Moeil's been the one that is winning the exchanges, so for him to step up frustrated is, well, either he's getting annoyed that he can't finish the dude, which we said with an opponent like Kerisson. We know how durable he is, but that frustration, that's interesting.
Great inside kick right there. Nice exchange to come up for the knee. That's some high-level striking there. Inside kick, the opponent's legs get kicked out. If your legs go backwards, your heads come forward. Knowing that, he fired the knee up the middle, but here he just did a good job of nullifying the takedown for a little bit, but he sat there. He just didn't do enough to get off. And again, I think that, you know, if I probably were to break down Kerisson's camp, I guarantee he's the biggest guy in the room. A lot of the stuff he's doing are bully moves and bully tactics of like, oh, I can just sit here, I can hold the overhook on the arm and nullify the takedown, and you're eventually going to quit. But those aren't going to work against other heavyweights. Not other heavyweights fighting, you know, professional level. And so I think that's some of the tactical mistakes that he's been making.
Oh, wow. Wow, what's happened? Oh. Well, we were having that nice conversation. Something's happened within the cage, whether his corner pulled him out.
We'll be able to tell you.
That's right. So I think the corner have called it. We will find out when it's announced.
I don't understand that at all. Why would they call it? I didn't see any positions or any damage.
And they're still complaining with the referee.
Yeah, I think the referee asked him a
shots.
question. He said he didn't get it right, but there might be a language barrier here. Backside of the head, he asked him how many fingers he saw.
Hey, listen, and I've worked with Pavel Tosh a long time, both at the IMAF and the amateur championships around the world, and here. Very good referee, and he's not somebody that would. Oh, you can see that even the commission talking to the fighter there.
I don't know, maybe also too, I mean, here, we're just making shit up now. But I can see the corner complaining about the head back shots and they affected him. And then that backfired on him to where he goes, oh, are you all right? Well, I'm kind of hurt from him, thinking that I can get some kind of point deduction, something going in my favor to try to pull it off. And then it blew up in his face and they just called the fight.
So we'll find out, but look at the tail of the numbers there, 76 to 24, 40 significant punches to 15, and 3 takedowns on the side of Hatef Moeil.
Nah, it's a one-sided fight. You know, Kerisson has to improve on his wrestling, a couple tactics and stuff to keep it on his feet with his boxing. And Moeil did everything perfect. He just fought a really tough guy.
Ladies and
Kerisson just didn't
gentlemen,
go
the
away.
referee stopped the action after 2 rounds. So it's TKO after 2 rounds, and the winner is the boss, Hatef Moeil.
Du hast heute auf eine sehr dominante Art deinen Kampf gewonnen. Wie fühlt sich das an, hier das erste Mal in Frankfurt vor 10.000 Zuschauern bei OKTAGON zu stehen und den Sieg mit nach Hause zu nehmen?
Ich bedanke bei meinem Team, meine ganzen Fans, meine Trainer, mein Team und meine Familie und diese OKTAGON, die erstmal in Deutschland, das war sehr, sehr gut. Das freut mich. Ich hoffe, beim nächsten Fight, ich bin auch dabei.
So he says he's super happy to be here at the very first OKTAGON event, wants to thank his team and all his family, and he's glad that he won the fight. Hatef, du hast direkt den Takedown gezogen, als du in den Ring kamst, als du in den Cage kamst. War das der Plan, ihn die ganze Zeit unten zu halten?
Ich mache am Tag, wir machen am Tag zweimal trainieren, jeden Tag trainieren bei UFC-Gym, zweimal am Tag und jeden Tag trainieren, das ist normal. Ich mache direkt bei Käfig, also bei mir ist das normal. Oder Takedown oder Boxen oder BJ, ich kann alles machen.
Okay, he says he's training 3 times a day at his home team, the UFC gym, and it doesn't matter where the fight goes, doesn't matter if it's boxing, wrestling, he gets the fight anytime. Hatef, eine abschließende Frage. Im Oktober sind wir natürlich wieder in Frankfurt, der 15.10. Sehen wir dich dort wieder?
Das freut mich. Ich bin wieder dabei, OKTAGON. Fight. Ich kämpfe.
So he says he's going to be there for sure. Watch out, 15th of October. Hatef Moeil, any last greetings or shout-outs to your sponsors and family? Also irgendwelche letzten Worte an seine Sponsoren?
Am 15.10. kommt der Hatef den Schwergewichtstitel holen in Frankfurt.
Hatef Moeil, ladies and gentlemen.
OKTAGON se naplno řítí do Brna. Poprvé do největší haly a s plnou podporou fanoušků. A když do Brna a s fanoušky, tak v plné parádě. Těšit se můžete doslova na megazápas. Bitvu o titul střední váhy. První titulová obhajoba čeká Patrika Kinsla. V souboji o pás šampiona se mu postaví dvojka střední váhy.
I would love to challenge this man for his belt.
Dakila King, Alex Ohoré.
And I can get him.
Přinášíme novou show. Po projektu X a projektu Y přichází projekt Nathan vs. Adam a neb z ostrova do klece. Bojovali proti sobě v nejtvrdší reality show na světě. Teď se proti sobě utkají v nejtvrdším sportu na světě.
Keď som sa v živote nikdy nebil, tak idem úplne od základov. Podľa mňa teraz si naozaj siahne takéto absolútne dno a som zvedavý sám, ako s tým popasujem. Ale extrémne sa na to teším.
Tenhle zápas pro mě znamená neskutečnou výzvu. Kdo nebyl na ostrově, si nedokáže představit vůbec, o co šlo, takže bylo jasný, že to musíme dohrát doma.
Adanko, dobre sa najedz, lebo budeš potrebovať veľa síl na mňa.
Brno, Winning Group Arena, 17.9. Lístky již v prodeji na ticketportal.cz.